You know that feeling, right? You're standing in front of a bakery display and you're just overwhelmed. But what if you're not really looking at a menu? What if you're actually standing in front of an art gallery? I mean, it's a super familiar scene, isn't it? But really look at it for a second. Every single one of those items, it's been placed with intention, it's lit just right. It's not just there to be sold, it's there for a show. So, for the next few minutes, let's go on a little guided tour of this edible exhibition. We're going to look past the sugar and flour and really see the structure, the story, and the unique style behind every single piece. And that, right there, is the heart of it. We're not just talking about snacks, we're talking about craftsmanship. Like it says, each one of these is a small piece of edible art, a tiny little sculpture that's built from hours of practice, skill, and just pure creativity. Okay, so our first stop on the tour is all about appreciating the foundation, the architecture of the bake itself. This is about the basic shape and structure that gives each pastry its personality, long before any filling or frosting even enters the picture. Just look at the contrast here. On the left, you've got this beautiful, simple, rustic roll. It's honest, it's hearty, and it just screams tradition. But on the right, that croissant is like an engineering marvel. It's a total testament to technique. Two completely different baking philosophies sitting right next to each other. So how do you get a croissant that complex? Well, it's a technique called lamination, and this is kind of the baker's secret weapon. It's this super painstaking process of folding butter into dough again and again and again to create hundreds of paper-thin layers. And then, when it bakes, the water in the butter turns to steam and pushes all those layers apart, creating that incredible, airy, flaky texture we all love. And this just goes to show you that before anything else, the bake itself is a piece of art. That perfect golden brown color, totally not an accident. The exact curve of a croissant, the little score marks on a loaf of bread, it's all a showcase of real fundamental skill. All right, so great architecture is one thing, but what about what's going on inside? This next part is all about that hidden core of the pastry, the filling, the part that gives it flavor, a pop of color, and a real emotional punch. I mean, just look at this thing. The pastry around it is this beautiful golden frame, but your eye goes right to that deep, glistening center. That jewel-tone jam doesn't just promise flavor, it's promising an entire experience. It's this burst of vibrant color in an otherwise pretty mellow palette. And this is that moment, right? That little bit of anticipation. Before you even take a bite, the pastry is kind of asking you a question, creating this little mystery. Is it going to be sweet, tart, maybe something you totally don't expect? And here it is, the payoff. The surprise can be anything from rich, decadent chocolate to a bright burst of tangy berries. The filling is really where the baker stamps the pastry's core identity. It's absolutely the heart of the whole creation. Okay, so we've seen the structure and we've discovered the heart. Now it's time for the final act, the finishing touches. These are all those little details that take a well-made pastry and give it a truly unique personality. It's like the artist's final signature. Think about a simple glaze, for example. It's not just there to be sweet. It really acts like varnish on a painting, It catches the light, makes the colors look deeper, and gives it that professional, finished look. It's a sure sign of quality. Or the finish can create a totally different mood. The bright pink icing and the random explosion of sprinkles on this donut, that's not about elegance, it's about fun. This finish is just pure joy and nostalgia. It is literally designed to make you smile. And then you've got this brownie. The finish here is this really carefully controlled drizzle. It's not a flood of icing, it's a delicate, intentional pattern. That elegant little touch just screams richness and indulgence. It says, hey, this is a treat, savor it. So you see, whether it's a simple glaze, a fancy icing pattern, or a playful dash of sprinkles, none of it is an afterthought. Every single finishing touch is a deliberate artistic choice. It's the baker signing their name on their work. So far, we've been admiring all this art from the baker's point of view, but now the focus shifts to you. You're the one standing in front of this gallery, and you have to make a choice. This is where the art becomes personal. It's a really fascinating question when you think about it, isn't it? With all of these amazing, carefully crafted options in front of you, what is it that pulls you in? Is it the shape, the color, the promise of a certain flavor? What actually guides your hand? A lot of the time, it's kind of like this battle between two different needs.
On one side, you've got the comforting and familiar, the simple muffin, the rustic roll. It's a safe, dependable choice. And on the other side, you've got the intricate and indulgent, that flaky Danish, the complex croissant. That choice feels a little more special, maybe a little more adventurous.
And ultimately, what you pick says something about your mood. Are you looking for comfort, a little bit of nostalgia, or are you trying to treat yourself to something that feels a bit luxurious? Your choice is really a small act of self-awareness. So, in the end, this whole display is just a collection of stories waiting to happen. You have the baker's story of skill and creativity, and then you have your story, the one that you choose to perfectly fit your moment. Which brings us to the main idea here. The art of the pastry case doesn't stop when the baker puts the tray on the shelf. No, it's actually completed in that moment when you stop, you look, and you truly appreciate the craft right in front of you. So I'll just leave you with this question. The next time you're faced with that wall of golden, flaky, delicious art, are you just going to see a snack, or are you going to see the gallery? What story will you choose to be a part of?